The Personalist Labor Revolutionary Party, called simply Can Lao Party, was a Vietnamese political party, formed in early 1950s by the President of Republic of Vietnam Ngô Đình and his brother, as well as the advisor of the regime, Ngô Đình Nhu.Basing on mass organizations and secret networks as effective instrument. The Can Lao Party played a considerable role in creating a political groundwork for Diem's power and helped him to control over all political activities in South Vietnam. The doctrine of the party was ostensibly based on Ngô Đình Nhu's person dignity theory of personalism and Emmanuel Mounier's personalism formation. According to Ngô Đình Nhu, the founder of the party, the Can Lao was the fusion of the groups which were founded by Ngô Đình Nhu in early 1950s in the regions in Vietnam. In northern Vietnam, he collaborated with Trn Trung Dung, a Catholic activist who then became South Vietnam's Deputy Minister of Defense. In central Vietnam, Ngô Đình Nhu's network of loyalists was Nhu's fulcrum. In early 1954, Can established the core groups of supporters inside Vietnam Army and Civil Service of State of Vietnam. In southern Vietnam, Nhu established a group which served mainly as roundtable for political debates of intellectuals linked to a journal entitled Spirit. In 1953, Nhu allied with TRNQUCBU, a trade unionist who headed the Vietnamese Confederation of Christian Workers with tens of thousands of members. They began to publish a journal called Society, which endorsed the creation of workers' and farmers' cooperatives and unionization rights for industrial laborers in Saigon. Through the alliance with BU, Miller argues the Can Lao program follows unionism, advocates the co-management of national industry by representatives of capitalists and laborers, as well as workers' participation in interest and technological development of industries. According to the Decree 116, BNV-CT of Republic of Vietnam, the Can Lao Party was established on 2 September 1954. Nhu became the General Secretary of the party. Initially, the party named Personalist Revolutionary Party of Worker and Peasant. Then this name was replaced by Personalist Labor Revolutionary Party. According to Miller, the name Can Lao shows Nhu's profound concern in political potential of Vietnamese laborers which related to French unionist ideology. The slogan of the party was Labor, Revolution, Personalism. Guiding ideology. Personalism was the foundation of the Can Lao Party. Ngô Đình Nhu was the founder of personalism in South Vietnam, and Ngô Đình applied this doctrine as the national ideology, the backbone of the regime. It was also called Oriental Personalism by researchers of Republic of Vietnam and Spiritual Personalism by communist researchers. When came back from France, Nhu was passionate in personalism of Emmanuel Mounier, a prominent French Catholic philosopher, and believed that Mounier's ideology, which rejects liberalism and communism, could be a third path to be applied for social development in Vietnam. The Ngô brothers also believed that personalism could go well with the third force, which was not in line with French colonialism and the communism of the Viet Minh. For Diem's regime, personalism was treated as the only doctrine which restored the best traditional values of Asia and combined with Western values to innovate the state and serve public interests. It can be a counterbalanced communism doctrine. From April 1952, Nhu's ideas on personalism was delineated in his speech at Vietnamese National Military Academy in Ta Lat City. He contended that initially, personalism was a Catholic ideology. though it had universal relevance and was compatible to Vietnam, which had to suffer from the devastation of wars. For Nhu, personalism was a form of revolution, which was more transformative than Marxist socialism, and he described himself as an advocate of personalist revolution. Ngô Đình also understood the term personalism in the etymology of Nhan, which could mean either humanity or human being. The Ngô brothers used the term personalist revolution to frame the nation-building programs. On the 26th of October 1956, Republic of Vietnam's constitution was promulgated. Its preface declared that building politics, economy, society, culture are for the people, basing on respecting personalism. Simultaneously, Diem's regime laid down as a policy the teaching of personalism in universities and the propaganda of the doctrine in South Vietnam. Nevertheless, according to some scholars, Nhu's personalism was evaluated as a vague mishmash of ideas or a hodgepodge because it was a mixture of Catholic teachings, Mounier's personalism, Confucius humanism, some factors of capitalism and anti-communist spiritualism, and its actual substance was maddeningly opaque. Thus, even the Vietnamese intellectuals could not understand Nhu's doctrine, neither Americans, who spent much time in examining his doctrine and gave up. Lately, the values of personalism of the Ngô's brothers has been revised. According to Nguyen, the personalism along with the democratic ethical regime based on personalism was a combination of the quintessence of Western values and Asian values, was a contribution to political science, especially in resolving the democratization issue in developing post-colonial countries, such as Vietnam today. Activities. Initially, the party acted secretly, basing on networks of cells, and the members only know a few members' identities. When necessary, the party could replace the role of the government. It also included any factors that could help its agent to penetrate the army, National Assembly, police, educational system and the media. Fall describes the party as a state within a state, in its own governmental mechanism, which was what a communist party would do. In the early years of 1950s, Diem and Nhu used the party to mobilize support for Diem's political movements. The cards of the party were Catholic organizations such as Union of Catholicism, Catholic Youth, Catholic Society, with Catholics dignitaries and followers, officers in the army. Ngô Đình was the general secretary in the Central Committee Board, including Trn Trung Dung, Nguyen Tang Nguyen, Lai Trung Dung, Harty Hc Min, Trn Qucbu, Vo Nhu Nguyen, Le Van Thong. The party also declared the goals of struggling for the revolutionary ideology, personalism, constructing the nation in four aspects: spirit, society, politics and economy. The principle of the party was centralized democracy. In its political manifesto, it criticized both capitalism and communism. In less than a year, the Can Lao had all the key positions in the government, like National Security and Ministry of Defense's officers. With the military's support, the Can Lao started a dominant party rule. After 1954, the existence of the party was recognized, but its activities have been hidden from public views. In 1955, Nhu practiced the governmentized policy which aimed at placing 70% members of the party to important positions in the government. On the 6th of July 1955, Nhu established Office for Social and Political Studies led by Trn Kim Tu Yen, the General Secretary of the party, and Special Force, led by Le Quang Tung. On the 2nd of October 1955, Nhu established National Revolutionary Movement, including Can Lao's party members, and nominated Trn Chan Than, Minister of Information, as the president of the movement. The organization includes members above 21 years old, from different parties, religions. This organization played an important role in drawing up and carrying on policies of RVN, helped Diem to win in the elections in 1955 and 1959 and the presidential election in 1961. The party's activities were represented through those organizations. On the 26th of October 1955, Diem declared the establishment of Republic of Vietnam. On the 29th of October 1955, Diem promulgated the Decree for TPP to establish the first government of Republic of Vietnam, which embraced most of Can Lao Party's members in key positions. Can Lao Party had 112 123rd positions in National Assembly. In 1956, Diem and NHU established Personalism Training Center in Vinh Long Province administered by the Bishop Ngo Thinh Thuc to train the key personnel for propagandizing personalism in South Vietnam. The administrative and teaching staff included Catholic priests and followers. On the 31st of December 1957, Diem forced the administrative and military personnel in the government to join the training on personalism. From 1956 to 1963, the center trained about 25,000 personnel for the government. In 1958, the Can Lao Party established its youth's wing, the Revolutionary Youth, led by Ngo Thinh NHU, that obtained as strong influences in the rural areas. Also, the membership was increased from 10,000 members in 1955 to 1,500,000. In 1962 there were 1,386,757 members active in the party. In 1961, the Can Lao formed also a women's wing, the Women's Solidarity Movement, led by the First Lady Madam NHU. The organization formed also a military training for women and organized charity initiatives, like blood donation, distribution of medicines to the village and visits to soldiers in frontline. After the coup d'état organized by Vietnamese military forces sanctioned by the U.S. in November 1963, Ngo Thinh Diem and Ngo Thinh NHU were assassinated and the party was banned and dissolved.